We live in a somewhat bronzed age. Chasing the sun has become a national pursuit. From package holidays to spray tans, sunbed salons to tanning injections, the desire for a rich mahogany skin isn't fading. But how healthy is that healthy glow? With rates of skin cancer on the rise, there have been increasing calls for action. But while you can't ban the sun, you can restrict the sun salon, deemed by many to be pernicious death machines.
Why does anybody need to go on a sunbed? It's artificial, it's causing skin cancer.
While those at the Sunbed Association say back off, arguing that there are only benefits to responsible tanning.
You know, people still like to tan, and I think people are fed up with being told what they can and can't do.
The tan was first made fashionable by the designer Coco Chanel in 1923. Before then, brown skin was associated with people who spent hours in the fields doing hard labour. That all changed when Coco caught too much sun whilst on a cruise to Cannes. Before she knew it, she'd started a new trend. Fast forward 86 years and the fashion for a tan hasn't changed, with an estimated 3 million people using sunbeds each year. To find out more, I went to visit Russell Speller,
Hi, Flora.
who's been running tanning salons for 35 years.
This is our manageress at Soleil Sidcup.
Hi.
Come through, let me show you what we are. It's a family business between the family. We have, I think it's about 36 salons now altogether, covering Essex, Kent, Suffolk, London, Hertfordshire, all over. There we are. This is our Ergo Line lay-down sunbed, which is lovely. It has aromatherapy, music, very relaxing, very enjoyable. If you don't want to lay down and you want to have a little jig and dance as you tan, we have the stand-up option, which is pretty much the same. You don't have the facial boosters on the stand-up, but you stand inside with music. I'll demonstrate to you. Stand.
Which one do you prefer to go on?
I prefer a lay down because I'm like the relaxation.
At less than £1 a minute, I thought that I had better give it a try. It's breezy and there's nice music, but I did feel a bit claustrophobic. Luckily, I had Daniel Bedingfield for company and to keep those feelings at bay. It did get me wondering though, who are the typical clientele at the salon? Who was driving Russell's custom when the dangers of sunbed use were so well publicised in the press?
We have customers from, let me say, some of our salons in Essex are frequented regularly by the Towie community, so you can understand obviously young, vibrant people from 18 upwards. We have a customer that comes into our Southend-on-Sea salon. He's 95 years old. He finds it hard to travel, loves the sunshine, and comes in once a week for his dose of sunshine. You know, so right the way across the board, and there is now probably a 50-50 split with men and women. You know, everybody likes to, to have a little time out, a little 10 minutes in the warmth and the feel-good factor, if not necessarily just for a tan. You know, it's nice to lay down and just have nothing to do for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I come on a sunbed about once or twice a week.
And why do you go on a sunbed?
Just to get a tan, really. Just to be brown.
Does it make you feel good after you do it?
Yeah. And it's relaxing. It does relax you.
Do you ever worry about what, like, if it could be like damaging for your
skin?
skin?
I definitely worry about that, but I don't know. I don't think it is that big of a worry, but it is a little bit, yeah.
I went on them years ago, but then since getting the job here, obviously I've started back up and they've got a lot safer and...
Yeah. Okay, great.
And like I said, everyone says how glowing my skin looks and I feel healthy. I used to get, like Russell said, a bit miserable in the winter. Haven't had it this year.
I go on a sunbed 3 times a week.
And why?
Why? Because it makes you feel good.
I love a sunbed, yeah. Normally I go away quite a bit, so it's nice to prepare before I go. And it's nice to have that feel-good factor of a bit of colour. So yes, been using them for 35 years.
But Russell's business could be at stake. A campaign has been launched by Melanoma UK, which is supported by the Tory MP Pauline Latham, to have sunbeds banned. If only Parliament wasn't so preoccupied with a certain issue.
Personally, I think of these as pernicious death machines, in all honesty.
Pauline hosted a debate in February on sunbeds and told me that she has cross-party support to have them outlawed.
Because more and more people are dying from melanomas in this country, and I think it's about time somebody stood up and said we don't need them.
I travelled to Wigan to meet with Anthea Smith, who suffered from melanoma in 2015 after years of sunbed usage.
Okay, brownie. I think that was not long after one of my placements at one of the salons. Like I say, I wasn't having to pay to use them. They were kind of like, oh, go on the sunbed, it's a treat.
Anthea is a 43-year-old social worker who is married with 2 sons and a chocolate lab named Charlie. Her whole life was turned upside down 4 years ago when what she was told was a harmless wart on her ear turned out to be an aggressive form of skin cancer. She had to go through 2 long operations and 32 grueling radiotherapy sessions to stop the cancer spreading. She now wears a prosthetic ear, has perpetual balance problems and tinnitus.
I've had the whole temporal bone removed, so there's no, you see how squishy it is? There's no edge of where it starts and where it should end, so I have to try, without sticking it to my hair, I have to try and line it up with the other side, so it's not up here and down there, and I have to try and feel where I imagine my tragus would be, and also not get any of my hair stuck in it.
In her view, the culprit for her condition is obvious: sunbeds. Anthea started using them when she was just a teenager.
I was 14, I had a placement at a salon, and at the end of each day there was some bed upstairs. The manager would say, I think as a treat to say thank you because it's free work basically, and I went on for I think half an hour most nights. Loved the feeling of having a tan, and then we hired a sunbed. It got placed over my bed every time we hired one, and I probably went on it 2, sometimes 3 times a day, because it was, I want to get browner, this isn't brown enough, I want to get browner. Totally addicted.
She is now calling for sunbeds to display warning signs akin to those on cigarette packets.
So if people say sunbeds are good for us and they're promoting them, why not share images? I'd be more than happy to have the side of my head shared to say, you use this sunbed today, there's an extremely high likelihood that melanoma will be diagnosed.
This sentiment is backed up by Professor Paul Lorigan, who leads a research-based clinic practice specialising in developing new treatments in melanoma.
I mean, there's a clear link between sunbed use and skin cancer, either squamous cell or basal cell cancers or malignant melanoma. I think there's an unequivocal clinical link, and there's also now clear evidence in preclinical models that tanning lights cause melanoma. So it's unequivocal evidence.
There's always someone that's anti-something or other, you know. So you try and do it.
Back at Russell's salon, I put some of my concerns about sunbeds
we
to
can
him.
educate and even forcefully close down these salons that
But he was at pains to make a distinction between his salon and so-called rogue operators.
there are so many salons out there still that don't care. And you hear horror stories of people burning, which is not good for our industry or anybody. So what we are trying to do actively with the Sunbed Association is to try and get everybody on board. And even if that means legislation, to get tanning salons brought up, raise the bar basically, so people can go and enjoy. We're in the tanning industry, not the burning industry.
While the Sunbed Association may promote responsible tanning, just a small fraction of sunbed salons are signed up with the organisation. The majority go largely unregulated. Some are unstaffed and coin operating, meaning there's no one to track usage, assess a client's age or skin type. The Sunbed Association is attempting to silence Melanoma UK and its campaign to ban sunbeds. They have threatened legal proceedings against the charity, accusing it of spreading, quote, malicious falsehoods.
I've spoken to melanoma patients who use sunbeds way back, and here they are, 30s, 40s, 50s, and you know that they're dying of advanced melanoma.
Until there is a fashion for paleness, young people will be vulnerable to what some regard as false advertising by sunbeds. Perhaps it's time for the government to do more to get the message through and stop young people literally frying for a tan.